During the fall and winter months, nothing's as great as a beautiful pot roast coming out of your slow cooker. However, my lovely wife informed me that pot roast isn't her favorite food because she doesn't really enjoy the cooked carrots and the potatoes that I think every pot roast needs. So when you have a big roast like this, the question is, what do you do with it if you're not going to make a pot roast? Well, it turns out that this actually makes a delicious barbacoa. So that's what we're going to do today. We have 3 pounds of roast. We're going to be using green chilies, chipotles in adobo sauce, some fresh jalapenos from our garden. Of course, lots of garlic. I'm actually going to use 2 different onions. I like both the red and the white for different flavors. Salt, pepper, of course, lots of oregano and cumin. One step that you don't want to forget is a little apple cider vinegar that really kind of pairs so well with the meat. So let's go ahead and get started. First step is we're going to go ahead and cube our meat. Just 1 by 1 inch cubes, and really this meat's pretty tender already, so it's going to be falling apart. Now that we've got our roast into cubes and we've trimmed some of the fat, we're going to go ahead and season the heck out of it. I like a lot of pepper in my food, and you really can't do too much salt either, so don't be shy. Oil nice and warm, and just go ahead and slide these right in here. And remember, we're not actually cooking the meat, we're just getting a browning on it. So we're only going to be in here for a few seconds actually, maybe a minute tops. I do like to grab some of my onions and garlic that I've chopped up and get a little browning on them too. But just a little bit to get some of the flavor going into the meat. Again, that's what we're looking for, is just a little bit of browning on here. Bring out some different flavors. Now that we've got a sear on our meat, we're going to go ahead and take this very carefully and introduce it to our slow cooker. I've already got a broth going in there, and it is preheated. We want to keep the heat going here. Something I haven't always done is preheating the crock pot, but I think it moves things along quite a bit quicker. There we go, beautiful. Well, this recipe only calls for 1 onion. I'm actually chopping up 2. The reason being is that I really like both flavors of a white onion and a red onion. And plus that, I'm gonna have additional diced onions for my tacos later, or maybe even for eggs in the morning. So it's always great just to chop up a few extra. Because I'm really going for a paste-like consistency to be in my slow cooker, I'm actually gonna use the food processor, which of course comes in very handy. These chipotles smell amazing. I wish I had fresh ones, but they do come in the adobo sauce, which is gonna add some really rich flavor to the beef. So we're just gonna go ahead and dump all of our ingredients into our food processor. Lots of onions, lots of garlic. Fresh jalapenos from the garden, seeds and all, go for it. I found this, it's actually just green hatch chilies that come already prepared in nicely diced. Kind of a cool thing, but I think it'll be great to have on hand for any recipes, but I'm gonna go ahead and work with that today as well. Now that we've got our delicious paste, we're gonna go ahead and coat the meat with it. And this stuff, it's already got a good bit of spice. I'm not sure if it was the jalapenos or the green chilies, maybe even just a little bit of that chipotle kick, but either way, it's coming out really good so far. I'm very excited about this. We're also going to take this time because we're kind of finishing up, so we'll go ahead and get some oregano in, just a couple of tablespoons worth. You know, where you can spill it a little bit, doesn't really matter. Go ahead and get some more of this cumin. I really do like the cumin flavor on beef and anything else that's coming out of a slow cooker. I think it adds a lot of depth. I'm going to go ahead, since this recipe also calls for a little apple cider vinegar, I'm actually going to take it to my pan that I used to brown my meat with because there's a lot of good fat still left in here. So I'm going to go ahead and just dump a couple tablespoons in there and then just working around a little bit to get some of that flavor released. And I'm going to go ahead and dump that into our slow cooker. I went ahead and moved the vinegar into our slow cooker. Then we're just going to add a little bit of lime juice there. And now, as you can see, we're well seasoned. We're ready to go. We got to wait about 4 to 5 hours for this to be done, and it should be nice and tender. And so now it's time to crack a beer. After a few hours and maybe a few beers, now you can just break the meat up right here, and it's very tender. Go ahead and pull one of these tortillas off of the griddle here and load it up. And here you have some slow cooker beef barbacoa tacos. I like to dress mine up with a little shredded cheese, red onion, and sour cream. This is actually the 4th and 5th tacos that I've made out of this batch, and they actually came out pretty tasty, and it's very easy as well. So give it a try, and I hope you enjoy.